All right, so let's take a closer look at the CR-10 Smart, and you guys can see it's a very large printer, or pretty large, and it's filling up this desk pretty much front to back, and it is quite tall also, so keep that in mind. It is a pretty nice looking printer, looks very polished and has a nice aesthetic to it. So let's start here at the top. We can see we got a Creality logo, very nice finish on the front of the channels. Smooth. A lot of pieces are metal and pretty heavy duty, like these brackets here. Flipping the printer around, we can see the back side, little guides here with bearings in them. That's for the lead screw. And also you guys can see there is a gear here for the belt, and that's to tether the two lead screws together. And that is very important for a dual Z-axis setup. You definitely want to have this belt, so very happy to see that. We can see the braces that we installed. They go all the way down to the back here, and it definitely makes the printer very stable, so the top doesn't move back and forth pretty much at all, so it's very solid. So let's go ahead and go down from there. We can see that these brackets here are metal, and we got brass bushings. Same thing on this side, but here we have the extruder assembly, and this is the mechanism that Creality uses. It's one of those interesting kind that kind of like move the whole top. I don't know if you guys can see, but it's moving the whole top here back and forth. So I think like this it's locked in, and like this you open it up to feed it through. I remember this Creality CR6 had this, and I had some trouble with it, so we'll see how this one goes. So we got the extruder motor underneath, and on top here we have the filament detector, and it does have a brass fitting inside, so that's nice, not going to wear out. You guys can see the junction box here is completely covered, injection molded plastic. Very nice attention to detail. This is our X-axis motor here, and this really nice cool looking cover that covers up the gearing here. And going down from there, we got the two Z-axis motors. And looking down, we can see the rails is made out of two pieces, 3 rollers on each side that compressed around, and that's how the bed holds itself. Our Y-axis end stop switch, the Y-axis motor with the gear under there, the adjustments on the other side. We'll take a look at that in a second. Very nice strain relief on the heated bed wire here that comes out and then goes right into the body. We have a nice solid frame there for the bed assembly, and it is a heated bed, but it is not insulated, so it might take a little longer because of the size, but we'll see how that does. And here we have the AC input port that is fused with an on and off switch. So yeah, I'm still pretty impressed how thin this base is. It's very thin. And also here we have the manufacturing sticker, and you guys can see the print volume is 300 by 300 by 400. So yeah, very nice size. And the weight is 14 kilograms, which is about 30 something pounds. So all right, so we're flipped back around. Let's go ahead and look at this X-axis assembly here. So we have the X-axis end stop switch in this little box here. So this is very nicely presented here, very clean. You guys can see this piece here, piece of metal. It's an optical sensor here, and that's the Z-axis end stop switch. There we have the extruder with the Bowden tube coming out and the wiring into the hot end. And we do have a little clips here on the Bowden tube on each side. That's nice to see, so it won't move around. The hot end is quite interesting, especially the casing here. So it appears to be pretty typical Creality stuff in there, just the cover itself is quite different. You guys can see how much air there is on this side. So this whole part here is just for aesthetics. I can stick my finger in there. So yeah, I think it's mostly just for looks. It does look pretty good. We've got a little Creality logo there in the front. So underneath we can see the fan duct for parts cooling and our nozzle there with a silicone sock. So yeah, pretty interesting looking design here for the hot end. We'll see how well it does. So another important thing to note that we haven't really talked about is that we do have tensions here on the belts. Pin this little knob here and it makes the belt tighter or looser. So yeah, this is a really nice little feature here to quickly tighten or loosen your belt. But you got to be really careful because you don't want to over tighten them. If you over tighten them, you're going to have a lot of vibrations in the print. So you want to be barely tight. It's kind of hard to explain, but just make sure you're not playing music on the belt. So, and same thing for the Y here in the front. We've got the same tensioner here, and we can kind of tell, like, I think mine is a little bit too tight right now. They probably send them like extra tight from the factory because they will loosen up over time just sitting. So that feels a lot better now. But yeah, you can experiment with this, you know, make them tighter and looser and see how your print quality goes. So, and probably the best part of the printer is this really large build plate, which is glass with the perforated dimples there that when they heat up, it'll stick, and then when it cools off, the print should just pop right off. So, and having the 300 by 300 by 400 is quite a large volume, guys. It should accommodate a lot of the projects that you would do. So in the front here, we got some QR codes, some warnings, more QR codes here. Very cool little tray. That's magnetic, so yeah, definitely love that. Very cool design on the whole printer. Got this really futuristic kind of look. Here it looks like we have a sticker for the SD card. Peel that off, and that exposes. the slot. And next to that we got the screen itself, which is a touch screen, and it's quite large. Let's go ahead and peel this protector off of it. A very nice screen for sure. I haven't seen this kind of screen on Creality. I'm pretty excited to see the UI on it. Now if we go to the right side of the printer, again, check out that really low profile, very nice. Here we have the USB port, the Ethernet port, and also a button that looks like is for the power. And to the left side of the printer, there's not much here, just that spool holder that we saw earlier, which unfortunately doesn't really fold over like it's supposed to, unless I'm not doing something right, but the brace seems to be in the way. And if I go too much this way, then it's not gonna center up well with the filament detector here. And if I go too much that way, it's going to be definitely in the way of wires and things like that. So yeah, not a big deal, just kind of didn't really make sense. Seems like was an afterthought, maybe because of the braces. So yeah, overall, very interesting printer and quite modern feeling. And I can't wait to power it on and try it out. So all right, so let's go ahead and power this thing on. I got the cord plugged in the back, so I'm going to hit the switch back there. And nothing happens. So that means we have to hit this big switch here on the side, the silver one. I'm going to go ahead and do that. All right, so it boots up, looks like. Got a nice Creality logo there. And there we go. So yeah, looking at this UI here, it looks definitely different than the usual, or at least the more budget printers like the Ender 3 version 2 and things like that. So here it looks like we have a big plus button. I think that's to access the files on the card that we haven't put in yet. But here on the side, we can see we got home, prepare, settings, and leveling. So let's go ahead and go to prepare. And what I want to do first is I want to home the machine and make sure all the axes work. So let's go ahead and hit the home here. And there it goes, it's moving around. So we got the X, the Y, and the Z coming down. Well, actually no, I guess the Z doesn't home with that. So we do have a separate home for the Z. I guess let's try that. I'm gonna go ahead and click that. Okay, so it goes to the middle. And I think the reason it does this is because it has the pressure sensor here in the tip of the nozzle, meaning there's a mechanism inside here that uses a pressure sensor to do the leveling, or once it touches the bed. So yeah, sure enough, that's what it did. It actually touched the bottom of the bed, going back down. Yes, okay, so the pressure sensor in there, it looks like, is working also. And the gap that it's got right now is pretty much perfect. Now, one thing that I haven't mentioned yet, which is quite interesting about this printer, is the bed is actually non-adjustable at all. The way it comes is the way it is. There's no way to, spin some knob here and lift or lower a corner. The way it works is it uses the out-of-bed leveling system to get all the different measurements of the bed, and that's how it knows, when to compensate depending on where it is. So now I think before we activate that, let's go ahead and raise this thing up a bit. What I want to do is I want to preheat the bed itself, but not the nozzle, because we don't want the nozzle to be hot right now for the automatic bed leveling. So let's see, we have some functions here. Axis movement, feed return. Okay, so we got different screens here to choose from on the bottom, and start temperature. Preheat ABS or preheat PLA. So yeah, lots of options here. Okay, so it's gonna hit on PLA preheat. We're gonna be 260 on the bed, which we need to not probably preheat this at all. So we'll just go to 0 for the nozzle. Okay, it doesn't like that. Okay, let's just click on cool down and just click on the bed and enter 60. And there we go. Now we just have the bed. So yeah, you can click on these little options here to select what you want to, preheat. So very interesting. I definitely like the setup. It looks a lot more mature and a lot more professional. And if we click home, we can see that we can still see, all of our important parameters here. So the bed is set to 60 and it's at 42 right now. So we're going to give it a little time here to get hot. And right here, we can see we got the Z axis offset at 0.20. So this must have been set already from the factory maybe, but so let's go ahead and click on the leveling here on the bottom, and you guys can see all of the points here on the bed where it's going to measure, and it looks like it goes in this kind of pattern. So, and I think it's smart enough to know what to do with the nozzle in bed, because it's actually saying here to wait till it gets to 0. So let's just go ahead and start it. So we're going to click on start. Okay, so it actually wants the nozzle to 120 on its own. So yeah, this thing is smart enough to adjust everything as you need it. We didn't have to go back and try to preheat anything. So okay, so we're just waiting for the nozzle to get to 120, and it should go to the next step here. All right, looks like it's moving around again. So it's going to the center, and it's taking the measurement there. And now it looks like it's going to go through the pattern. And you guys can see here it's on number 1. And now it's going to number 2. So the blocks light up as it takes those measurements. And while it's doing that, guys, I want you to hear the printer. Overall, it's pretty quiet, mostly just fan noises. It definitely has silent steppers because the movements are very quiet. So yeah, I wouldn't say ultra silent printer, but definitely on the quiet side. Alright, and I'm guessing that is it for the bed leveling. So because all our blocks here are filled out and I guess colored in, that means it has the measurements saved.